Kenya itasimama, Kenya itanawiri kwa umoja na uzalendo. Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo. Je, wewe? Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo daima. Welcome to the 11th edition of Sema na Spox. Sema na Spox. Sema na Spox. And today we have a very special guest. He has been in this field for quite some time now, and he's none other than our Principal Secretary for the State Department for Tourism, Honorable Mr. John Ololtua. Let's clap for him. Today has been extremely eventful. We've just come from spending time with His Excellency the President at KICC. He was quite robust. We saw some very good park there, artificial park there. We even found a family on picnic. There was even a leopard by the tree there. And then we had some awards for the creatives. We saw a lot of innovations, and we ended up with a town. During the thematic Jamhuri week at KICC, President William Ruto celebrated Kenya's tourism growth from 1.5 million visitors in 2022 to 2.4 million, strengthened wildlife protection with 1,500 new game rangers and 23,000 digitized government services. He also highlighted the upcoming largest conference facility in East and Central Africa, the Bomas International Convention Center, set to host major international events and boost Kenya's status as top destination for tourism and business. In fact, it's supposed to be finished by April next year, and on 12th of May, there's a conference there. At the Teleposter Pension Scheme AGM, the head of the public service, Mr. Felix Koskei, stressed the importance of a balanced investment strategy to reduce reliance on immovable assets and improve liquidity for long-term sustainability. He also highlighted timely retirees payments and expanding coverage, particularly for informal sector workers, leveraging digital platforms to enhance retirement security and bolster national economic growth. The Kenya Urban Roads Authority has completed the 19-kilometer Rusinga Ring Road, the island's first tarmac road, unlocking a 1.3 billion boost to fisheries, tourism, agriculture, and market access as part of the 480-kilometer Lake Victoria Ring Road network. It enhances regional trade, mobility, and wider economic opportunities across Homa Bay. And by the way, if you've never been to Homa Bay, that's more beautiful than some other destinations. Rusinga Island is extremely beautiful. And when you go there at night, you see the many boats by the seas, in the high sea. They look like a little city there. Cabinet Secretary for Ministry of Labor, Trade and Investment, the Honorable Lee Kinyanjui, joined African and global partners, including the World Trade Organization, to launch the Ep11 sanitary and phytosanitary SPS project, helping farmers, processors, and exporters meet quality and safety standards and access larger markets. The initiative strengthens Kenya's lead in transparency and timely market information, enabling more regional and global sales while boosting competitiveness. The National Police Service has welcomed home the first group of officers from an 18-month Haiti mission, honoring fallen colleagues as leaders and diplomats joined in receiving the returning contingent. Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen praised the exceptional professionalism, discipline, and globally recognized service, noting the mission marks a major milestone in Kenya's growing role in global security. And as His Excellency the President committed when he was with His Excellency Donald Trump, Kenya is not going to backtrack in supporting a fellow southern country, global south country, Haiti, to restore peace and tranquility. Now, today we are here. We want to hear more about tourism. As you are aware, yesterday we had this Director General of KWS, Professor Erastus Kanga. He was able to deal with the issues appertaining to wildlife. The day before yesterday, on Tuesday, we were able to host the CEO of KICC, CPS James Maura, who really trended on what MICE has for us. And on Monday, we had the PS for State Department for Justice on anti-corruption matters. Today, we have a very experienced career public servant, PS General Tua. Let's move to the next slide so that we can hear more from him. Tupige makofi.
Good. Yes, how are you?
I'm good. Umekaa kama Gen Z sana kabisa leo. Huko na jina inaitwa Spox.
Yes. Spox ni spokesman too in short.
Niko poa sana.
Uko poa?
Yes.
Lakini unakaa poa sana na hizo na leo kitambulisho kiapi.
Ni hili. Hii nimechagua, hii Gen Z ndio walinichagua. Lima Gen Z ana. Hadi sasa.
Wajua wakati wote tulikuwa tunaita viatu njunu.
Yes.
Alafu pia tulikuwa tunaita radio tenje. Siku hizi nasikia tenje ni simu sana. Yani mambo yamebadilika tu sana.
Kabisa.
So PS, yes. In this program of ours of Sema na Spox. Ongea kwa nguvu bwana. Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Bas, unadonga na Gava. Na Gava ni well please. Asante. Kwa sababu unajua Gava ni cabinet secretaries and yes, those two, correct, they form a very strong cog. PS ndio engine kwa sababu yeye ndiye ana execute correct haya maneno. Lakini kabla hatukuja kwa hiyo mambo, who is General Tua? Anazaliwa wapi? How has he been to the point amefika hapa?
Unataka niongee Kiingereza ama Kiswahili? Whichever way. Yes. So first of all, Mheshimiwa Isaac Mwaura, our government spokesman, let me take this opportunity first of all to commend you for this very important program that is giving an opportunity to government to talk to the public and be able to highlight the programs that the government has. So I want to appreciate you and thank you so much. You have asked who is John Ololtua. John Ololtua is a Elman from somewhere in Narok, Kilgoris, who grew up somewhere along the border of Migori and Narok. And
Ildonisho?
Not Ildonisho. It is somewhere called Keshwek. Or if you may use a word that is easier, Ogwethi. Ogwethi is just a border town between the Migori and Narok County. And so
that sounds a bit Dono.
Of course, I can speak Dono.
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you understand it?
Not a little bit.
You know the general.
The program tell me. Program.
Yeah. So I grew up along that particular border. I went to primary schools just like every other children. But I think I have a very special story about that primary school. You know, the Mlasai children used to drop out of school quite a very young age, either to go and graze animals or to join Moranism. And there was this Luo chief called Ogola Ongele, who was a friend to my dad. And one morning he just came, told my dad, you see, these Maasai children are dropping out, and I am fearing that this one may also drop out. And he persuaded him to allow me go and stay in his home. So actually from class 5, 6, 7, I was actually in Mugore County, in the home of that Luo chief.
Never been a Massa one?
No.
Wow.
And I stayed there for 3 good years. I only used to come when the schools closed. And I was actually sleeping on those traditional mats called par in the Luo language. And so
they make with this.
They make with this saison strings and so on. And so I stayed there for 3 years, and I did my CP in 1982.
Wow.
19 around there. And so I survived. True to the chief's word, actually the other children dropped out. All my age mates, none of them. They dropped out, they joined Moranism. Of course, they are at home right now. They are businessmen.
Maybe you can explain a little bit. What is this Moranism?
Moranism is warriors. Have you seen those Maasai warriors with beaded hair? It means going to the forest or to to stay there in seclusion for some time as you slaughter a number of animals and take herbs. It's like the army, or it's like the military or the army or the Maasai community. So if you are not in school, then you join Moranism or warriorship. And so I completed, and then of course joined secondary school in one of the small secondary schools. Those days it used to be called Harambee schools, socio-secondary school in Kilgoris town there. But the story did not end there. I used to foot 10 kilometers to school and 10 back every day from Form 1 to Form 3. In that particular, I was staying in a relative's home, so I used to walk all those distances to come to school. But of course, that did not bar me from working very hard. I only came to stay in town in Form 4, and I remember I was staying in a small grass thatch house with a Koreboi lamp, which of course was, I didn't have any stool or any chair. I only had one stool, of course, with the bed, those spiral beds, and the Koreboi lamp, which I used until I did my Form 4. Of course, I was able to excel. I went to Narok High School, A-level. I completed during the National Youth Service, just to make the story short. And then, of course, from there, I joined Kenyatta University.
Oh, you were also from KU?
Wow, I'm an alumni of KU.
Wow, makofi hapo. I hope wewe unapiga makofi kwa nini? Wewe ulisoma shule gani wao wanapiga makofi? Hivi sasa ulisomea KU. Yeah, that's why. By the way, KU ni university kubwa sana. You know,
And we used to go to KM kula chapati hapo
na babenda huko.
na Githeri.
Na Githeri. Pia kilomita 1 hapo.
Kilomita 1 hapo.
Let me make you a joke chicheka kidogo.
Yes.
So when I was in KU, just to divert a little bit,
Yes.
I ran for office to be elected as a special member for KUSA.
Yes.
And with Gladys Wanga, who is now the current governor of Harambee.
Yes.
Sasa nilikuwa naambia watu kwa kampeni yao. I had manifestos for every dormitory. Boy, yes. Atu wakati watanichagua, look at that. Atasia tu. Hata nitaweza kuwatamakea barabara kutoka Kenya mpaka Nyayo. So when KU from which year?
I was in KU from 1990 there, 1991, 92.
Okay, that was under Eshwani or Gidendi?
Yes, I think it was it was before issue 1.
Eshwani.
Yes. So I completed the Kenyatta University. And that time, I think the Maasai students were very few. I remember when you combined Samburu, Kajiado, Narok, and there were very, very few.
Okay.
And because of that small number, personally, I was nicknamed Ole. They were not
Okay.
nicknames. Ole is son of. So I don't know what they meant. But they were not calling me by my name. Okay, every time they will say Ole until I became a brand. So they would just call me Ole, and I said yes. I took the name, and of course I completed the KU. That time it was still easy to get a job. So I remember the Teacher Service Commission prepared the letters. We were given the letters in the university. And my
Mlipata job mkiwa university.
hapo tu when we
Hata kama ita graduate?
to make graduate, and then we were given the letters immediately. So my first school was Marani Secondary School.
There undergraduate hivi na unaboda job la power.
That time people were those who had qualified were still a bit few, and that's why I think that explains. So I joined my first school in 1993, of course in Kisii, and I taught for 2 years Marani Secondary School, right? And then from there, Marani, in Kisii.
Okay.
And then from there I came to Kilgoris Secondary School.
Kilgoris.
Yes, 1995, where I taught 95, 96, 97 for 3 years. Okay. And then 1998, I was appointed as secondary school principal. So I went to a Northside Secondary School.
So this is after only about 7 or so years since you...
I think it was
4 years.
5 years.
5 years since you finished.
Yes.
You were now a high school principal.
I was appointed a high school president.
Wow. Makofi happened.
Yes. And I worked in that school for about 7 years. Of course, then from there, because I want to make the story short so that we get time for the other areas. From there, after working for 7 years as a secondary school principal, of course, I was able to transform the place, put up a new boarding school for girls, and a number of other things that time may not allow. Then from there, I was appointed as district education officer, Suba, the larger Suba before it was split.
So both north and south.
In Neighbor County.
It was Wasi and all of us.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I stayed for 6 years. So the beautiful island you're talking about. Yes. Actually, I know every bit of that particular area, right from Rusinga Island, Ringiti Island, the Island, Unugi, all those ones. Kogalo. Kogalo is right there. It's on the other side of Siaya.
There's another small Kogalo there.
Yes. So all those islands, and I worked there, and it was one of the best places I've ever worked because.
And Wanyama.
Yes, obviously Wanyama, primary school and so on.
Yes, that's right.
So it was one of the best places I worked because first of all, I introduced the locust boarding school in that area which was not there. I also addressed issues of child labor. There was a lot of child labor along the Lake Victoria region. Where so many young girls were dropping out of school to get married and so on, boys dropping out to go for fishing. I was able to mobilize the community and reduce that particular situation within that time. And I came up with so many secondary schools and primary schools that were not there. And together with the stakeholders, we were able to transform the Mufangano Island, starting la ring road, electricity and water, led by the leadership of that particular place. And then from there, I came to Bomet as a district education officer for 4 months. When the counties came, I was appointed county director of education in Bomet. I worked there for 6 months as a county director. And then from there, when the foundation came, Spox, you remember our mzee, Kinuti Awamangi, the loud of him, very famous old man.
Yeah, the one who was
yes.
So clerk of Feka.
So when the foundation came in,
yes,
I was appointed. I got the job as the transition coordinator. So I oversaw the transition to the fourth system of government, setting up the system.
So he was a chair and then elected.
There was a chair,
secretary.
No. There was a secretary.
Okay.
But every county had a coordinator.
Okay.
Somebody who coordinates the transition team
nice.
To ensure that the systems of the county, right from audit, payroll, ICT, everything, including the county assemblies and so on. So I did the transition. I transitioned the county government of Narok for 3 years, up to around 2013. I mean, from 2016, up to 2016. And then from there, I came back to the Ministry of Education, and then I was posted to Kajiado County as a county director of education. I worked for 5 months as a county director of education, Kajiado. Okay. When the regions came in, I was appointed as regional director of education, Eastern Province, and I worked for 3 months in the Eastern Province. I traversed all the 8 counties of the Eastern region. Okay. And then after that, I was posted to Nairobi here.
Okay.
As the regional director of education, Nairobi, which I worked for 2 years. And I think I loved Nairobi because I was able to transform the issues of the schools in Nairobi.
Actually, that's true because I remember a conversation and I heard the first lady speaking very well of you.
Yes. Yes. In fact, she had a very special program, that mentorship program for the Form 1 students. And I remember several occasions when she was able to come, and when I was the regional director, I was able to receive and work along together in that particular aspect. So I worked in Nairobi for 2 years. One time, if you give me an opportunity, I'll give you what I did. Then from there, sort of I finished my story. I was again appointed or transferred to Rift Valley region as the regional director of education in Rift Valley. And I worked for 2 years, traversing every county, the 14 counties of the Rift Valley, and of course the unique experiences and so on. And then from there, I was posted to Central Province as the regional director of education, Central Province, which I worked for 3 months. And then I resigned. I went and campaigned on a political seat.
So this is in which year?
That is 2022, February.
Oh, we ran for office?
Yes, I ran for office.
Ulitafuta kura? Kule maongea hapa wao unaweza kufuata kura. Hata namna gani? Si ama bego. Ufanya tonda bizini si ndio? Anasema na Spox. Anasema na Spox.
Yeah, so I resigned that time, I think February, 9th February 2022.
As per the instruction.
As per the instructions.
As before, yeah.
Yes, of course. And then I contested member of parliament or member of National Assembly, Kilgore's constituency, under the UDA ticket. Okay. Of course, I did not win. I became number 2. And then after that, of course, I was able to to be among those who are lucky, and I got the position of the PS.
Makofi. And in fact, because PS, allow me to say this, because you invited me to your homecoming.
Yes.
I think I saw about 30,000 people. You're very, very popular.
Yes.
And the Dolly Show. Correct. Yeah. Dolly Show. Dolly Show.
It is a Dolly Show.
Dolly Show.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And I could see now, let's come out to one of the things that made me happy, and maybe you can talk now about it because time is really gone.
Yes.
Is your State Department and what you've been able to do.
Correct.
And I think at that point, the president actually launched a care, an hotel college there.
Yes.
So maybe you can start how, after you're appointed, what have you been able to do so far? What is it about the State Department for tourism? How did you find it, all of that?
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Mwaura, Spox. First of all, the State Department for Tourism plays a very critical role in the tourism sector because this is a state department that deals with policy formulation in terms of tourism. It deals with the development of products, rich products for the country. It also deals with regulation of the sector, of course, through the agencies that are there. So it does a lot of regulation. It also deals with training. The department oversees training of hospitality, staff, of course, through Kenya Military College, and of course through many other private and colleges that offer that kind of training. The State Department also does a critical role in linkaging between wildlife management, wildlife conservation, community conservancies, and of course linkaging very closely with the county governments. So since I became a PS, there are a number of things that, first of all, that we were able to quickly address, that were able to transform the tourism sector. The first one is, first of all, to look at the policies that needed to be addressed for us to be able to move forward. And we began a process of reviewing the tourism policy, the National Tourism Policy, the Tourism Act, and also developing the National Tourism Strategy, which we have actually gone through all the steps. What is remaining, I think early next year we should be able to launch all those particular policies. And these policies are meant to address some of the gaps that were there.
Now, well, let me ask you.
Yes.
There was a time of hue and cry around the coastal region about the national tourism strategy. People saying now that we are allocating plots to people, more beach plots. What was that all about? I found it to be very disconnected because, I mean, when you call people public patronage, which is the constitution, no? How did it happen that then people are saying that people are getting book plots?
First of all, that one is under a very big program which I wanted to bring in as number two, because I said number one was looking at all those policies that are supposed to be able to transform the sector. The second one is developing of the niche tourism products under the program called national mapping of national tourism products. What this implies is that traditionally we know that Kenya is well known for wildlife and of course the beaches, but every county has got something very unique. So what we have decided, we came up with a program in partnership with the county governments that now prioritizes all the tourism attractions in each and every county. So it was me in that time, because we have actually coordinated with all the counties. We have done, I think we have completed all of them. It was in that particular time that I think Lamu mentioned, there's a clause, I think they were not able to read it clearly, but it was talking about cases where you can do public-private partnership.
Yes.
Maybe to develop key hotels along the beaches, maybe to develop the beaches themselves to become much better, and or maybe to be able to partner together under public-private partnership to do conservation of the mangrove forests and so on and so on. So I think when it came out, the stakeholders, especially in that particular area, mistook it for probably privatizing it, which was actually not the case. But what we did, we were able to very quickly address the matter and be able to make clarifications where clarifications are required to be done. And I think the matter was really sorted. Actually, I attended the Lamu Cultural Festival. I was together with His Excellency the Governor and the team, and I'm very happy at whatever issues that they raised, we were able to address. So the second major program, which I can say is a very big achievement that we have done, is the national mapping of touristic products. The third critical area.
So before I get out here, is the mapping of the tourism areas. And mwelekezi wangu Isaac, I'm waiting from your cue.
Yes.
So what are the niche products, if you can say in a broad sense,
Yes.
like what are the specializations in different areas of the country?
Thank you very much, Spox. The niche products are very many. But let me just highlight very quickly in the interest of time. First of all, we have the traditional products, which is the wildlife, which is really one of our greatest marketers for the country. Then we have the beach, which is well known. The other niche products is cultural tourism, which rotates around, cultural festivals, rotates around our food, gastronomy, rotates around our heritage. The other one is sports tourism. We're leveraging on sports to be able to attract events to our country, to attract visitors to our country, and to also to brand and market the country. We're also utilizing our agriculture, be it flowers, coffee, and so on, under what we call agro-tourism. Well, we want to partner with those relevant departments to develop a product where visitors can come and see how tea is grown, how it's processed, and until it is packaged, and it becomes a brand of its own. The other one, of course, is our landscapes. Bird watching and the landscapes themselves, which is a very important component of our tourism. The other niche product is medical tourism. Our country, for example, is well known with a number of very big hospitals that offer. We have a number of people from Uganda, from Tanzania, and other countries who are coming for treatment here. Okay. We are partnering with the Ministry of Health for the medical services and professional standards to be able to see how that medical tourism can be packaged. And but recently, we also introduced astral tourism.
Before I took to astro,
yes.
So that means like now MTRH around the Eldoret, or where in particular on Nairobi Hospital, is it?
Basically, all the hospitals in the country. Because, tourism, when you define a tourist is any person who comes either for medical purposes, educational purposes, religious purposes, conference purposes, leisure purposes. So these visitors who come to our country, we are trying to partner with the relevant departments to ensure that even we develop, the private sector develops nice hotels around those facilities, okay. So that, and then they link up so that when these visitors are coming, there is a way they can be received. And as the person they have brought to hospital is being treated, those who are taking care of him or her get an opportunity maybe to visit our touristic attractions and to be able to see what is there.
I see.
Yes. So the products are very many. If I had all the time, I would really highlight. The other major product is the mice, the meetings and so on that we are talking about, where we are really identifying how we can package, how we can encourage the private sector to be able to, to put up conference facilities and so on. And you just have His Excellency the President, today, speaking about the vision that he gave us,
yes.
Especially in that area of mice, where he guided us properly to be able to transform KICC, which you have seen, and we have refurbished, we have renovated, and we have supported it. And also giving incentives or opportunities for other private sector players to open hotels and put conference facilities. And of course, I
heard him saying that yes, we have 3 new hotels at the BRICC, at the Bomas.
Yes, in fact, for Bomas, we have been on a Bomas International Convention Complex, which is a very big facility that have got 11,000 capacity. And that one has been done by the government itself. We have, of course, the hotels that are going to be done under the private sector, meaning that they will lease. It's under the lease program, which is allowed within the law, so that the investors who will come and put up those high-class hotels will be able to put up the hotel, and of course, at the same time, be able to lease per year. There'll be this an amount they'll be paying per year, okay. And it's only a time then when. So that's what we have done, and very soon those hotels will be constructed, and therefore, you'll find that mice will have gone to very, 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 what I can say, high level.
Are we going to lose the cultural aspect of the Wala Wanaimba Huko? I remember when I was just about 1. I went there to
yes.
To Bomas, and they were singing, and I still remember the song. Are we losing that?
No. Folks, let me assure you. Cultural tourism is a very big component. And if you look at the master plan of the BICC, there is a component, there is a team that has been put in place, which brings on board the PS culture, the arts and heritage, and the other team, that brings out clearly on how we are going to blend this the cultural aspect. So the cultural aspect will be retained. So we'll actually have the hospitality aspect. We'll have the cultural aspect. We'll also have, it will be connected with the Nairobi National Park.
Okay, so the wildlife.
So it will be an ecosystem. That it will also be connected with the Talanda for sports. So this will be a complex that all the visitors that will come there will be able to access the Talanda city. They'll be able to access the orphanage at the KWS. They'll be able to access the hospitality facilities, and then also be able to access the cultural components that will be done within that particular area. So no element of culture will be left.
Makofi, makofi, makofi. Now, we are going to take a break right now. In fact, I can see Mwelekezi wangu Isaac is telling me it's extended by about a minute. We are taking a break of about how many minutes, Isaac? 4 minutes, and then we'll come back. Makofi, hii ni Sema na Spox. Sema na Spox.
Kama mnavyojua tunakamilisha mwezi mmoja tangu tuweze kufanya uzinduzi rasmi wa mpango wa huduma bora za afya kwa wote chini ya mwamvuli wa SHA. Na tuliwaahidi wa Kenya kwamba tutahakikisha kwamba mojawapo za haki za kimsingi za kila Mkenya ni kuhakikisha kwamba anapata huduma bora za afya. Na ndio maana chini ya uongozi wake Rais William Samoei Ruto tukaweka mikakati bora kuhakikisha kwamba huduma za afya zinafika hadi mashinani kwa Wakenya wote popote walipo. Na hii leo basi tumeweza kuzuru katika hospitali kuu hii ya rufaa ya Kisumu, ambapo nimeweza kutembelea maeneo mbalimbali ikiwemo eneo ambapo kina mama wanaweza kujifungua, maeneo ya oncology, maeneo ambayo yanatibu magonjwa sugu yakiwemo dialysis. Na hii inaashiria wazi kwamba kama serikali we are committed kuhakikisha kwamba Wakenya wanapata huduma bora, licha kwamba kuna baadhi wanakabiliwa na changamoto nyingi ikiwemo za ukosefu wa fedha. SHA kama tulivyoahidi ni huduma bora, huduma bure ya afya kwa wote bila ubaguzi kwa yeyote. Ukiangalia fedha ambazo tumetenga ama tumepeana kwa Wakenya, wengine mpaka wanalipisha shilingi 100 kurudi chini, na wengine wanapata kwamba matibabu hayo wanapokea bure kwa wale ambao hawajiwezi. Mbali na hayo, kuna ile huduma ya kina mama, ya linda mama. Kwa sasa tunaita linda mama iliyo bora zaidi, kwa sababu awali walikuwa wanalipisha shilingi 5,000. Ndio maana kwa inasimamiwa na NHIF. Kwa sasa chini ya mwamvuli wa SHA, linda mama iliyo bora zaidi, kina mama wanapata shilingi 10,000, wale ambao wanajifungua kwa hali ya kawaida, wanajifungua kwa operesheni wanasimamiwa hadi shilingi 32,000. Na wale ambao wanataka matibabu ya dialysis na kimu tunafanya hadi zaidi ya shilingi 10,000 kwa kila mgonjwa. Kwa hivyo hii ni kuonyesha kwamba zipo changamoto, lakini kama serikali tunaendelea kuwajibika kuboresha huduma hii ya afya. Kwa hivyo nyumbani kuna ndugu zetu, Wakenya wenzetu ambao wana wasiwasi. Je, mimi nikiwa mgonjwa nitafanyaje? Uisha nasikiaje? Na wasihi Mkenya mwenzangu upote ulipo, usihofu, jisajili kupitia *147# ama upitia katika tovuti yetu ya afya yangu uweze kupata huduma ile. Maana siri ni kujisajili. Ukijisajili, huduma zote hizi zinakuja kwako popote bila wasiwasi wowote.
Welcome back to Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Sema na Spox.
Bonga na Gava.
Now, PS, you was keep telling us about the achievements of your State Department.
Yes.
Before we now go to the next set of questions.
Thank you very much, Spox. I want to continue with the achievements of the State Department. They have a very key achievement is on the area of training and capacity building, because this is a critical area that we focus on. And under the Tourism Fund, Tourism Regulatory Authority and the Kenya Hotel College, we have put in place a robust program, one, to train all those hotel staff that will have a certificate. Maybe they were just employed and they don't have any certificate in hospitality. So we have been doing that across the region. Mm-hmm. We're also training the tourism police on safety. And we have actually done a lot of training that is able to upskill the people in the tourism sector, including the tour operators, the tour guides, so that to make the service, the quality of the service very high and excellent. Looking at Kenya Utalii College, we have actually put up a transformation plan because this is one of the most respected colleges in the world. But when we came in, we found that it was slightly coming down. It was not really moving on the way we required. So first of all, we were able to review the curriculum, which we were able to improve a number of areas in that particular area. We were able to bring on board issues of partnership, but we also started addressing infrastructure. We just recently completed an individual training kitchen that is world-class, that is going to assist those who are going to be trained under that component of be they chefs, be they waiters, be they tour guides, tour operators, and so on. So we are also focusing on that component of training is a very big achievement. The second area, which I think is very important, we wanted to look at it better. The bottom-up transformation agenda is supposed to look at the young people and how they can be supported, and realize that there was a gap in terms of those who are learning in our hospitality institutions. So we introduced the revolving fund under the tourism fund, which is it's an equivalent of HELP. So we actually partnered with HELP. We allocated an initial amount of 150 million, and we will continue allocating every year. Over 2,000 students have already benefited. All of Makofi, yes. All those students that are actually either at Kenya Utalii College, Bonga, and any other college.
How does one apply for the 450 million?
They apply online. The tourism fund has got a portal that guides very clearly and on how they apply. And HELP is the one that is assisting them to be able to do that.
So really, to be honest, PS, you've done a lot, really.
In fact, this program will not give me time to say everything. Yes, there are a lot of things. The other very big component that we have actually done is to be able to transform the marketing, the whole concept of marketing. Because tourism is about marketing. If you don't come up with a robust program, we cannot be talking about the 1.5 million tourists moving to 2.4 million and talking about the domestic ones moving from low numbers to about 6 million bed nights without robust marketing. So what we have done is that we have transformed the Kenya Tourism Board, and they have come up with robust programs. One, Pampea Kenya campaign, which deals with marketing Kenya and encouraging Kenyans to visit our parks. And then at the international level, we have actually done the digital marketing. We have also participated in exhibitions and conferences. And we have also utilized our diaspora, our embassies abroad to be able to partner together and be able to market the country. So what we have also put a lot of effort is the transformation of the marketing component itself to ensure that it reaches standards that it has never been able to reach before.
So I think yes, Makofi hapo kwa PS. Let's just be more granular before we turn to the audience. How do you rate Kenya's performance in the just ended holiday period compared to previous years, particularly the contribution of the domestic tourists? And also, what strategies has the ministry, the State Department employed to remain resilient in the face of economic difficulties like inflation, rising transport costs? And also, remember, there was a time we were dealing with the issue of flooding, and many of those hotels in Amara had all kind of been destroyed or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. When I look at what you have asked, how we can be able to rate the growth of tourism asset now, or is it the only that you have spoken about? First of all, let me just give it in a nutshell, that the growth has been very, very progressive. If you look at just before COVID-19, we were at 2.04 million tourists. It came down to 870,000. And then from 2022, 2023, it came up to 1.5. As we speak today, we have 2.4 million international tourists. The income that we have received from these particular tourists has also moved, from 268 billion to 452 billion.
Makofi.
Terms of
a new increase of about 200 billion.
Yes, a very, very big increase, as you say. We have also had a lot of increase in terms of domestic bedrooms, which right now stands at about, by 2024, it was 5.1 million. But we did not count the other people who are in Airbnbs and so on. So it could be about 6 million that will have been able to move. There are so many other achievements that have been done that has really opened up the tourism sector.
So PS, the whole issue of Airbnb and sure some rentals. Talk about it. We have seen cases of people, sometimes we even saw a very famous case. I don't know the name of it. Was it Sharon or somebody? A lady, may her soul rest in peace, people dying. What has been the uptick of Airbnb? Okay, Airbnb is a company, but short-term rentals, yeah.
Now, Airbnbs are actually short-term rentals, and they are across every town in the country. There is even a digital platform that actually does the Airbnb business, and so there are so many of them. They have contributed. Of course, their contribution is very big because, of course, they have been able to accommodate, especially, those people who may not be able to afford the very expensive hotels and so on. So it has become an alternative. But what we have done, there is a regulations that have been developed by the Tourism Regulatory Authority that is already gone beyond public participation. Actually, it is now at a very advanced stage.
They are going to be regulated.
Yes, they are going to be regulated.
Okay.
In other words, because they are going to be registered and they are going to be regulated so that they will be operating officially.
Okay.
Just like the way the hotels and the other facilities are operating.
Right, yeah.
So that the reason why that is done, so that first of all, it increases the income that will be coming to the tourism sector. Secondly, it will improve security because the people, the hotels will be known, or those facilities will be known that they are here, and therefore the risk of insecurity will not be there.
So tell us, yes, how is supporting county governments, one, and also this whole issue of ETA, the $30, the president talked about it today. How is it working? How has it helped in terms of increasing tourism? Have we seen that 900,000 increase? Can it be attributed to the easing of the visa requirements? So the county and also ETA.
Let me start with ETA. First of all, there are three major components that have really assisted us to open up the tourism market. One is the electronic travel authorization, which is an online system that you apply, you pay the $30, you apply, and once you go through, you just come. So it has reduced that particular element of people going to various offices to fill that, and therefore it has made it easy for travelers to come. And therefore, when we started, there were some challenges, and I'm very, very happy that the State Department for Immigration, that time under Ambassador Bitok, under Dr. Bello Kipsang, was able to progressively address any challenges that were there. The other critical component is a visa-free regime for all the African countries.
That's not Africa yote.
Correct. Which His Excellency the President himself directed, and is already being implemented. The other very critical component that opened up the country is the airspace. I've been opening up new airlines, allowing new airlines to fly to Mombasa, to Nairobi, and that has increased and so on. And so there are many. But when it comes to the counties, so that because of time, we are working very closely with the counties on very many areas. Number one, we are working together in development of policies.
Okay.
Yes, I told you that we are looking at the review of the National Tourism Policy, the Tourism Act, the National Tourism Strategy, and we are doing this in partnership with the county government. Secondly,
but sometimes before you even to go there, sometimes you get to feel like they are the county ministers for tourism. But you don't read, and then of course I've seen even efforts to try to have custom-made products county by county. But you don't feel like there's concerted effort to really develop and to market. I think the capacity there is a little bit. What are you doing about that?
Now, that is the reason why we have started this program, the National Moving of Tourism Products, under through the Council of Governors. We have had several meetings with the CCs and the chief officers. And the reason why we are doing this is so that we work together. It is true, as you say, that most counties, previously, I can see that I know there's a big improvement, but a number of counties were not really, except the counties of where there is a lot of tourism, like Narok, Kajiado, Samburu, Homa Bay, the Western region, and other areas where tourism was very much already felt. Most of the counties, yes, it is true, had those departments. They even have CCs, they have chief officers, they have directors. But for some time, they were not focusing on it. But right now, with the partnership that we are doing under the national mapping, the national program, where we are mapping those touristic attractions, we can see that the urge to support tourism is growing.
Maybe in less than 20 seconds.
Yes.
Can countries access the tourism fund, the Tourism Development Fund, or that kitty to develop their tourism products?
First of all, the tourism fund levy, there is no amount that is sent directly to the counties.
Okay.
But what happens is that it supports product development. Because that particular levy goes towards marketing of tourism. So a lot of it goes to Kenya Tourism Board, Kenya Italy College, TRI, and so on. But under the capacity programs and even development, you see, like, for example, the construction of the Ringala Utali, it is money from the tourism fund. Even the construction of the other colleges, like the one in Kilgoris. So they support product development in the counties. And where there are facilities that are tourism related, the tourism fund comes in to be able to support.
Makofi. Thank you very much. Yes, I think he has a lot to say.
Yes.
And now we want to move to the audiences. Please, we have two types of audiences. The live audience here, I can see very able people here. He will give you a chance to ask a question or listen as well, the first five, and then we go to the online audience. And today we had a very interesting experience where some gentleman, I forget his name, he asked the president whether we should also be allowed to eat wild animals. You keep some few antelopes, if there are 10, you eat 7, or I don't know. So that is paisana, but of course the president said to pakupapia kwa askari kanga, who was here yesterday. Now over to you, who's the first to ask that question? Who's number one? Yes. Introduce yourself, your name, where you come from, and straight shoot to the PS.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Andrew Kinjeretugi. I'm from Kiambu County. And my
Kiambu tourism.
Kiambu tourism.
Okay.
Kiambu tourism. And my question is on sustainability and the issues of climate change and global warming, because it's a factor that has really affected the ecosystem around tourism, that is in the conservancies, and also there's an issue of the rising waters in our ocean and also on our lakes. And what is the role of tourism in terms of motivation and adaptation on that line of climate change and global warming? Thank you.
Thank you. That's question number two. Yes, who is new? Madam here. Let's have the mic quickly. Pass it on quickly here. Yes. Faster. Probably you don't have time. Your name and where you come from and your question.
Well, my name is Jennifer Waridi. I come from Lamu, and I'm so glad that the PS you've clarified the issue that we had in Lamu. And yes, I was part of that meeting, but there was a little bit of miscommunication, and probably that's why it came out like that. So I'm the first and foremost Tourism Lamu. And specifically, I want to highlight something related to fashion and pageants. And of course, that go directly to the young people. And I also serve the country as the president of the Kenya Youth Organization. Now, we all know that we've had Miss Tourism Kenya, which is a national pageant that has been running all through, but lately it died because of lack of support here and there. So I'm cautious. Like, is the ministry having any plans, probably, to formalize this or even support a pageant, fashion, and also the creative economy in that side? Because you find that pageant, when they go to the international platforms, they put Kenya global. They give visibility globally to Kenya. So my question is: are there any plans to formalize or even support and even give support at the county level? Because with Tourism Kenya gets to the county level and then we get to the national level. And personally, I've participated at the national level, and I feel like it's something that is so great. When the beauty and brains get to the national platforms and eventually to the global platforms, just to promote, Kenya in the tourism sector.
Makofi. Thank you very much, your lady. Next, question number 3. And I like your bracelet here. Inafikiri inaunganisha wa Kenya. I've had mine for the last nearly 20 years, and I can see yours. Yes, madam, yes?
Yes, good evening.
Good evening. By the way, I read you sounded like a politician. Okay. Yes, madam, what's your name and where do you come from?
My name is Nema Mumbi. I come from Makueni County. And, yes. Yeah. So my question to the PS was, he mentioned something with about regulating the Airbnbs. So I wanted to know how exactly he's going to do that.
Okay, then makofi kwa Mumbi. Last question number 4. Yes, sir.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Bernard Oloji from Uganda. I serve at CMG Africa. CMG Africa is in Uganda, now in Kenya and Zambia. We've worked very closely with the ministry through Kenya Tourism Board to promote Magical Kenya to Ugandans. And as you're aware, Uganda is the number 1 source market.
Yeah, makofi hapo. As well as we don't take over, isn't it?
I speak when I say yes that we are not taking the Indian Ocean. I'm speaking on the other holy man. So yeah, must have been. I'd like to. You are the spokesperson. I'd like to send my thanks to and to Honorable Ololtua for the support that we've received from the Kenyan community. Kenyans and Ugandans are brothers. And I'm actually happy to see that the numbers have grown from 1.5 million to 2.4. It's a great job. We've been working closely with some of the partners and associations, KCTA, Kato, TS, Kiram, and the rest. And we've seen some bit of growth at the cost, especially. Now, my question, especially after engaging with some of these associations that form the ecosystem of tourism, there have been a lot of complaints about the one of licenses that are out there, which has become prohibitive to setting up business, especially for the tourism sector. I'd like to ask the Honorable to address some of these issues and see if there are solutions to perhaps maybe reduce the number of licenses or maybe bundle it up into one to make it easier for the investors coming into the country to be able to, to make it easy for them.
Okay.
Thank you very much. That's not the coffee already. And the Katina Sema Spox that also got international.
Let's have the final question and then we come to the online.
Thank you so much. My name is Joseph Karanja from Moroma, Katanga. First is,
You are from where all musicians in North Kenya region come from?
don't want to say for us. Can trust. Okay, all right. First is to thank Honorable PS for an inspiring story that he has told us. And secondly, I would like to ask him a question because he is from Kajiado. So, what are the benefits of the transfer of Amboseli National Park to the people of Kajiado? Thank you.
Makofi kabisa. And also maybe I can add that the chambers and such marginalized communities and they maintain occupational. Now let's come to the online questions. Over to you. Let's pass the mic. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you, PS and the Gava spokesperson. Our questions come from our social media platforms. Question number 1 comes from someone called Msafiri Ile Moja on TikTok from Mathare North. She's asking, what measures are in place to ensure tourists' safety and security? Like there is an incident that happened in Gong Hills while someone was alone, was mugged. Question number 2 comes from someone called Happiness Wajiko from Nyadarua County, Daragwa constituency on Facebook. She's asking, what incentives exist for investors in the tourism sector? Number 3, what initiatives are in place to promote domestic tourism and why are the fees for Kenyans very high? This is Kiprono Rono on TikTok, on Twitter from Kericho Kipkelion constituency. Number 4, what steps are being taken to diversify tourism products beyond wildlife safaris? This comes from someone called Akej Evelyn Sharon on Facebook from Nyakach, Kisumu County. Lastly, there is a question from owners of safari and tours company. They are asking, why did the government allow Uber Safari to take over? Are you phasing them out? Another question is that, did you do public participation before you introduced Uber Safaris? This is from Twitter. Someone called Tamasha Taria Diano Kwale County. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those oral questions. No, Piers, you have like, how many of those? I think nobody questions, but you have only less than 3 minutes to actually answer them. So go straight to the point.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa. Let me go straight to the point. The first question from Andrew Kinja on sustainability and conservation of tourism. And you have asked the role of tourism in the mitigation of climate change. The role of tourism is very key. Number one, we are also participating in the broader government program of tree planting as a ministry and as a state department to be able to increase forest cover and therefore make the environment better. Secondly, tourism is playing a very key role in the conservation of our national parks, national reserves. And you can see, of course, through the State Department for Wildlife and all other conservancies, they are playing a very big role in conserving the environment as a key element that will be able to make tourism sustainable. Thirdly, we're also looking at the practices of our hotels, and we're encouraging them. We are actually establishing eco-lodges to ensure that we use renewable energy, we use those particular forms of energy that makes the environment better. And apart from that, we are also doing a lot of community engagement through the wildlife in the community conservancies, where we educate the community on the human-wildlife conflict, how they can coexist together, and what they need to do to be able to ensure that we conserve. We are also working very closely with the county governments to ensure that our national heritage is reserved, is protected. And so there are many, many things that we are doing. Maybe in the interest of time, so that I'm able to answer all the other questions. Those are just some of the things that we are doing. Let me come to Waridi from Lamu. First of all, let me commend you for being Miss Tourism Lamu, and also for being to understand after we have made the clarification. Now, Lamu, and I was there. I attended the Lamu Cultural Festival, and it was very nice, very sweet. We were in the middle of the ocean in the door, and we were eating and enjoying there with the governor and my waziri and so on. Now, this Miss Tourism used to be very strong some time back, and the counties used to own it. They used to start the process for the counties, and it comes out to the national government. But somewhere along the line, it just disappeared. So currently, we don't have any specific plans so far that are really firming up that issue of the pageants, the beauty pageants and so on. But we have already started engagement with the county governments because I've been receiving so many beauties in my office, Mheshimiwa Spox. Oh, really? Yes, I've been receiving, and we have been supporting them indirectly through our sagas when they are traveling out of the country and so on. But we are already working together with the Kenya Tourism Board, and we're also working with the county government to see whether we can put a clear framework where we can start the competitions at the county, and they are supported by the county governments. Okay. Yes, and then it comes to the national government.
Yes, we have actually less than a minute for you to. Yeah.
So let me skip that one. I think I've already at least said something. And then a question from Nehema on regulating Airbnb, on how, and you have asked how are we regulating. I did say that we have already put in process a law, and the law explains exactly. It has all the details. Once we put those regulations, because it's the regulations that clearly capture how this will be regulated. First of all, we will list them down, all of them. So we'll be able to capture. So no Airbnb will operate without being in the system. We're going to digitize. Once the regulations are completed, there will be a digital way that will capture every existing Airbnb, and I'm sure we'll be able to deal with them. Let me move very quickly. Bernard from Uganda. First of all, let me appreciate, we have been working very closely with Uganda. In fact, Uganda is our number 2 source market, so we have so many Ugandans coming, and we have also very many Kenyans going to Uganda. We are collaborating already along the coast particularly. We have had a lot of Kenya-Uganda coastal tourism collaboration, where we've done a lot of conferences. We have had Ugandans coming to do farm trips here. We have also gone to Uganda to do farm trips. But you have asked a question
about the licenses.
Yes. Now, these licenses, as I think we discussed it even during today. Yes, we have the TRA, for example, gives the license for the tourism license, while the counties give the business permits and so on. So it is true that there are many licenses that are being given by different people. We have already started engagement, a process to look at how can we unify or how can we make it a little better. So it's already work in progress. Then Joseph Kareza.
Just 30 seconds.
Yes, I think I'll answer it. Just add me some second to answer him. And then Joseph Karanja, you have asked on the benefits of the transfer of the Amboseli National Park to Kajiado County. The benefits are immense. First of all is the revenue, the increase in revenue, which will in turn enable them put up facilities, give out bursaries, build up hospitals, and so on. It gives also ownership, that pride of ownership that the communities are going to own it. And as a result of that, they have even added 1 million acres as part of what will be part of the conservancy. So they are coffee. So the whole, it's up 1 million acres. Yes. Wow. Which means just like Narok. Because we now have the national park and then we have the conservancies. Okay. So Kajiado is also going to adapt the Narok model so that they're going to have conservancies and therefore there will be much more bigger space for these animals to be able to roam. But Spox, you need to give me to come specifically on that one.
Okay.
So that I can...
I think I'm being told that we are less than 20 seconds. We can quickly go through the other questions.
Quickly go through the other one. You have asked about measures for tourism safety. First of all, we have to establish the tourism police unit, which is a well-established unit with the police that have been trained on security. They are collaborating together with the National Police Service to ensure that security of tourists is provided. We have also done capacity building on that particular area. And of course, we are working very closely with all the other agencies to ensure that security and safety is provided. You also asked incentives that we give to the investors. There are a lot of incentives. First of all, if you are building an hotel, there are so many waivers, tax waivers. For example, fridges, on furniture, on very many things, including the tour operators. If you want to buy the land cruisers and so on, there are tax waivers and so on. So there are many tax
reliefs on the ratio of Airbnbs. Maybe that's the last question.
Yes, I think I'll answer on Airbnb, where I'd say that the regulations are already on place. Yes. But I think the last question I saw here was on what we are doing to diversify tourism products, which I think I'd already done, because I'd said we're expanding from to cultural tourism, medical, and so on. And then there was a question on Uber. I think just to explain, the Tourism Regulatory Authority is the one that licenses all these operations. But the Uber that has been given is just a company within Nairobi. So they are not actually been licensed to do it elsewhere. It was just to make it a bit easy for those travelers that are within the hotel sector within Nairobi here. So it's not that it's taking the business of the others. No, it is just a small component within Nairobi here.
Okay. I think let's look at that. Let's clap for our peers. Asante sana. Hii ni program ya Sema na Spox. Tunasema mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo. Je, wewe? Mimi ni Mkenya mzalendo daima. That's it, our 11th edition from here, the Spox Media Center on 7th floor of the Harambee House Annex. Until such another time, it's been 4 great shows focusing on anti-corruption, mice, wildlife, and today tourism, supporting the Jamhuri Day theme. Until we see you next time, God bless you. Kuwa Mkenya. Sema na Spox. Makofi hapo.